Good day. I'm back with mega movie numbers for you all. This is where we break down physical media by the numbers. First, we take a look at the top 20 selling 4K Ultra HD discs of a previous week. I give you my thoughts and recommendations on every single title there. Then we get into the market share breakdown where we look at all the different disc formats you love: DVDs, Blu-rays, 4Ks, see how well they're selling in comparison to one another. And then we get into looking at the future of physical media sales. Where's physical media going next? How's it doing overall presently? And we just have a great day talking and watching them movies, of course. So if it sounds like you're in the right spot, you love this amazing physical media awesomeness, you're going to go ahead and mega smash that like and subscribe. That way I can keep you entertained and up to date on all future physical media topics. But let's get into this, of course. As we go through this list, leave in the comments below some of the top selling 4Ks that stood out to you. What titles were you picking up to help boost those numbers? And also, what do you think of the market share breakdown? And of course, what do you think of physical media doing overall out there? But time to look at the bottom of this list. We got Dune Part 1 here from Warner. Dune Part 1 still living on the juices and hype of Dune Part 2, so it makes sense for Dune Part 1 to still be here because Dune Part 2 was just so hyped up. Everybody loved that movie. They had to go back, collect Part 1 to go along with it, so it makes sense. But the 4K disc is stunningly visually amazing. It sounds great. It's just great, awesome 4K reference quality. So I'll always have to see part one up there. Next up, we got Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom from Warner, which I don't really love this DCEU movie. I thought it was pretty lackluster in terms of story and emotions this time around. I do love some of the action moments in there. It's some fun, but just doesn't kind of nail it on the way home for me anyway. But I still picked up the 4K. I had to. I'm a superhero fan. What can I say? Next up, we got a new title here with The Last Kumite from MPI. Hopefully, I said that correctly. I had to look up this title because I didn't know much about it, but the description sounds awesome. It feels very Mortal Kombat like, where it's a tournament, it's a fighting movie. That's right in my wheelhouse. I want to check that out. I don't know if it's just a super low budget one without the fantasy elements, but hey, I'm a sucker for those sports fighting movies. I will definitely enjoy that one if it gets a major discount. Pretty hefty price right now, but in the future, I will consider it. Next up, we got to have the Dune 2 film collection from Warner. Once again, we have that Dune 2 hype. Might as well get both of those 4Ks together. I'm sure the part 2 looks amazing as well. Have not yet seen that one on disc, but oh my gosh, in the future, when it gets discounted, Prime Day around the corner, I do need to pick that one up because I did enjoy the movie in theaters. It was great for sci-fi action. Next up, we got to have Lawrence of Arabia from Sony Pictures. That really nice steelbook got discounted a bit. Cool design on there. And Lawrence of Arabia is an all-time classic, epic kind of movie where if you're just into filmmaking, it's the one that gets recommended quite often. And yeah, it has its merit. So you got to check it out if you're really into film, of course. Next up, we got The Crow from Paramount. I have not yet seen this 4K disc. I have seen the movie. It's like an action revenge story, very Punisher style. So right in my wheelhouse. I do want to pick up the 4K, but I'm hoping it gets discounted by Prime Day. So that's what I'm waiting for. Next up, we gotta have True Lies from 20th Century. These James Cameron titles are hanging around here, but for a good reason. True Lies looks phenomenal, and it's a fun action comedy with Arnold and Jamie Lee Curtis. You can't do better than that. So I absolutely love the 4K on that one. Next up, we got Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi from Disney Lucasfilm. I did pick up the 4K steelbook myself when I got it, bundled in the Disney Movie Club to get a little bit of a discount there. But I still haven't watched the 4K disc. It's right next to the player. It's ready to go. I just got to commit the time to kind of binge through that series. I've seen it before on streaming, but I got to watch it a second time to see how that 4K disc holds up. Next up, we got to have a new title here with Mute Witness from Arrow. I really don't know anything about this one. I'm guessing it's a thriller horror movie of sorts. The front cover does kind of creep me out there. So, do I want to pick that one up? You guys let me know. Do you think it's in my wheelhouse? Will I enjoy it? Next up, we got House of the Dragon, the complete first season from Warner and HBO. This one got a major discount. So, if you want it, you can probably pick it up for like $22 now, which is phenomenal for a whole season of television on 4K. I mean, and I think you get Blu-ray and digital there, if I'm not mistaken. That's a really great deal if you're into that kind of show. Now, I tried streaming the show again because I heard it got good around episode 6, and I'm officially done with House of Dragon. It was not the show for me, not my cup of tea. To me, it's way different than Game of Thrones. I loved Game of Thrones for the likable characters and then the fantasy action battle elements. It was so cool. Whereas House of Dragon, it's much more like family centric drama, a lot of walking and talking, and then there's a lot of time jump gaps, which is confusing because then they replace the actors, and then there's a lot of weird incest in it, and it just got too much to where it wasn't entertaining to me. It just wasn't enjoyable. Wasn't like Game of Thrones. So not my cup of tea, but a lot of people like that one. Sorry, I just went on a total rant of House of the Dragon, but I had to say something, and this was the perfect time. Next up, we gotta have Killer Clowns from Outer Space, Shout Studios, of course, MGM, and this is probably still the best steelbook 4K of the year, in my opinion. The art design was phenomenal. The 4K played great. I really love the whimsical score and all the fun killer clown looks. It's great. It's awesome. Cult classic horror movie. If you're into that, you're gonna love some killer clowns. Next up, we do got a new one here with Shrek Forever After, Universal DreamWorks. So this is the fourth Shrek film, the one with Rumpelstiltskin, if I'm not mistaken. I remember this one being pretty good. Not my favorite out of the Shrek movies, but pretty solid. Next up, we got Bad Lieutenant from Kino Lorber. Is this the one with Harvey Keitel, if I remember correctly? Now, I've never seen this movie. Looks to be an action thriller, so maybe in a Kino Lorber sale in the future. Next up, we got to have a new one here with the Shrek 4 movie collection from Universal and DreamWorks. Getting all four Shrek movies on that 4K Ultra HD, which, once again, I like most of the Shrek movies. 1, 2, 4, I think are really good. 3 kind of loses it for me, but hey, to get it in a bundle deal with all of them, yeah, why not? Fun family animated comedies. Next up, we got to have some Star Wars and or the complete first season. Disney Lucasfilm. I just, recently rewatched the series on my 4K disc. At least, finally got through the whole thing. And I actually thought the show was pretty good. It's way different than any other Star Wars show out there, in my opinion. It was very drama focused, but the difference was I could connect with some of these characters here. So I think it worked, and it was fun in being in the Star Wars universe. Not tons of action, but like I said, it's a different style. Next up, we got to have a new one here with Species 2 from Shout Studios. No, I haven't seen the Species films. At least I don't think so. They kind of look like B-level horror cheese. If they were cheaper, I would definitely take a whirl on them, but maybe in a Scream Factory sale in the future. Or maybe they'll do like a combo pack with 1 and 2, because I missed out on the first one. That'd be cool if they did a little bundle discount there. Maybe, we'll see. Next up, we got Oppenheimer from Universal. Once again, Oppenheimer is always going to pop back up on this list for probably a year or two, as that dominant at the box office and just did great in award season and just so much hype around it, which I still don't fully get because it is kind of a boring movie. I did find the science part fascinating, but it is a lot of talking. It's a very long movie. The visuals, the sound is great, so it is awesome in a way, but also I feel like it wouldn't be a crowd pleaser, but I guess it was. I don't know. But yeah, Oppenheimer, there you go. Next up, we got a new one here with La Femme Nikita from Sony Pictures. I've never seen this movie before. Looks to be an action thriller, decent steelbook here. So, hey, maybe, I don't know, has to get discount law for me to even take a whirl on it. Next up, we got Doom Part 2 from Warner. Like I said, I want to add this one to the collection here. I already have Part 1, so I want to see Part 2 get a discount. It got to get a discount by Prime Day, right? I hope so. And then number 1, no surprise here with a new title, we got Godzilla X Kong New Empire from Warner. People love these monster kaiju movies. It did great at the box office. I saw this one in theaters, and actually I kind of fell asleep during it because I don't know if it's just monsters throwing down. You got to be a shorter movie there. It did have human parts in it again, and the human parts weren't that interesting to me. And then you didn't really get a lot of Godzilla. You got a lot of Kong in there, and Kong villains, but Godzilla was like sleeping half the time and really only ran for a little bit, Baywatch style, for a minute or two. I mean, I wanted more Godzilla. I am Team Godzilla. You guys gotta let me know in the comments below. Are you Team Godzilla or Team King Kong? Those are the important questions that gotta be answered on this show, of course, right? We got to know, who are you a bigger fan of? Probably most people are going to go Kong, but are there some Godzilla lovers out there? I love Godzilla myself. All right, so now let's get into the market share breakdown. So I got to bring up these charts here so we can do some comparisons. So let's bring up a couple here. We're going to bring up, yes, this past week here and then the week before that. So let's look at these. Oh my gosh, 4Ks did jump up a bit, which is awesome. I do love to see that. We do have Blu-rays that jumped up as well, so that's good. So HD, Ultra HD doing a lot better. Almost like close to double increases for both of them right there. That's pretty solid, I would say. Maybe just under a little bit of a double. DVDs then dropped down to 60%. I mean, they were close to 80% before. They dropped back down to 60%, which still means DVDs are dominant. DVDs are still king. They're still doing great out there. Everybody loves DVDs. There's more DVDs are plentiful at Walmart, and apparently Walmart loves DVDs so much that they even lock up their DVDs hardcore at some Walmarts. And yeah, it's a wild Walmart story. I got to tell you guys later. I'll tell you guys all that funness. It's going to be a massive rant on them. It's hilarious. It's a good one. But yeah, DVDs. I guess everybody just has DVD players out there. It's more easy to, like I said, get DVDs sometimes and play those DVDs. And I guess people just want the cheap price and they don't really care about the quality. They just want to see the movie, and that's how it is. I mean, they just haven't jumped up to HD and Blu-rays. Streaming kind of hurt that in a way, and then they really haven't gone to 4Ks, especially because 4K prices are so outrageous now. Oh my gosh, some of these steelbooks just mind blow me. So I'm surprised that there was, hot new 4K titles that were still selling to get the 4K numbers up. So it's not like 4Ks are doing terrible, but once again, DVDs are just going to be that format to hold on the longest. I don't think Blu-rays are going to ever take them at this point. I mean, literally for Blu-rays to overtake DVDs, they would have to stop producing DVDs altogether, which why would they do that? Because I don't know, right? They wouldn't. They love DVDs because they sell so much. Like I said, obviously you see them dominating the market share. Where are you going to stop making them? So I think DVDs will be there forever. You're going to have Blu-rays, you're going to have 4Ks for the collectors. But that's how it's going to go. I mean, that's just where I see it going now. When Walmart stops selling physical media, will that ever happen 5, 10, 15 years from now? Maybe so. And then everything's online and you got stuff you can still buy from Amazon. Collectors will go through these boutique label sites and whatnot. But will that boost up the numbers? I think so for 4Ks and Blu-rays, and maybe DVDs will decline at that point somewhat. But that's my kind of educated guesses and predictions and thoughts right now on all the hoopla that's going on out there in the physical media world. But you guys got to let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think is going to change in the physical media world in the next few years? Do you see these disc formats shifting at all? What does it take for 4Ks and Blu-rays to go up? It's not just hot new titles, because we had that this previous week, and though it did boost the numbers, obviously they did not overtake DVDs. So let's share some fun thoughts down below. Have a great day talking the movies. And then, of course, you love this physical media topic. You're in the right spot. You got to mega smash that like and subscribe before you get out of here, right? That way you stay entertained and up to date on all future physical media breakdowns, of course. And then, like I said, if you enjoyed this topic, go ahead and mega smash the next video right now. And thank you so much, my mega membership supporters. If you love talking and collecting movies, consider joining the Mega League of Film Fans through memberships to support content creation while gaining access to perks like shoutouts, exclusive videos, and future topic choices.